come back and do a final challenge, and then he's going to lead us in God Bless America.
Thank you, Jim. God bless you.
Again, thank you so much for allowing me to be with you this morning. Sometimes when I go places in my uniform, people look at me and you can tell by their face that they're saying, that man is crazy. And I can see it on their face and I say, yes, I am crazy. Or you're looking at me like I'm crazy, and I am crazy. I'm half crazy. I'm crazy for my country. I'm crazy for my Christ. And I'm crazy like the fox. And the British called George Washington the fox. Now why am I crazy like a fox? Because in graduate school of mass communications, my professor said that 58% of the messages in America today are conveyed visually. That's why these beautiful displays are so helpful in this service. 35% non-verbally, and only 7% what we say. So if I come to you dressed in a coat and tie, I'm immediately going to be less effective communicating about George Washington than if I come dressed as George Washington. That's why I am crazy like a fox. Now, some months ago, on September 13th, I was at Stafford High School. And I was talking about the Constitution, and I often talk about the Christian Constitution, one of the most sacred documents in the history of mankind. There's over 175 out of 199 nations in the world that take some part of their Constitution from our own. And you know, there's over 100 biblical references that support the first paragraph, the preamble. We are blessed in this nation. Learn that document, read it at least once a month. But they asked me, what do you think about these terrorist attacks on New York and Washington? And God gave me the answer to give them that day. I said, terrorists are petty tyrants. And in our time, we had a tyrant who terrorized New York by attacking with 30,000 men, filled the skies with explosions, and filled the harbor with ships. Our backs were to the Long Island Sound at Brooklyn Heights, and we barely escaped with our lives. And we had to fight for 8 years to gain our liberty. And we may have to fight for 8 years to retain our liberty, not only for America, but for the entire world. And what liberty is the most blessed liberty? The liberty in Jesus Christ. America is the shining city on a hill, the beacon of hope for the entire world. We are the center of Christendom, and yet we are sliding away from that. Let us restore ourselves to the height. I said earlier that on July 3rd, 1776, the day before the birth certificate of our infant nation was signed, I said to the American Army, the fate of unborn millions will now depend, under God, on the conduct and courage of this Army, on you and you and you and you and you and me and every one of us as soldiers in the army of God. Now you remember the song, Onward Christian Soldiers, raise up your royal banner? See that there? The American flag? Think of it always as the American banner for Christ. Think of the white for the purity of the Lord Jesus. Think of the red stripes for the sacrifices he made for us. And think of the blue with the stars as the heaven where he ascended and sitteth at the right hand of God the Father Almighty. The American flag, the American banner for Christ. So when you lift up that flag, remember that you are in a Christian nation. And don't let anybody take